Hi. Oh, we're live, right. We're on live, Wattpad live show. We're back for a new week, Monday. Excuse me, a new week, but the end of the month, right? The end of November. So, let me focus on what I'm saying. The year is flying by so fast. 11 months finished. I guess 2021 was not as bad as 2020. Well, when I say bad, I mean, you know what? Frightening because of COVID. Now we're getting used to COVID with the new wave of Omicron, however they pronounce it, is on its way. But we gotta make life, right? We gotta do what we have to do. We have to create the life that we want, design the future that we want, author the future that we want, right? So we have 2 more days left for the month, of course, today and tomorrow. Well, today is over. This is night, so tomorrow, 1 more day for the month. And then December, Christmas month. Looking forward to Christmas. So, let's talk about the Wattpad life. Wattpad life. We've done so much so far, with all the videos on YouTube and Facebook. Future Stars Media Enterprise of Wattpad and my personal profile. A lot of work has been done over the past couple months on the Wattpad life to get the face of it out, right? That's the whole idea, because we've done a lot of work inside the company and COVID literally pushed us back 2 years. Although we made some progress, this live streaming show is one of that progress coming out of COVID. You know, that's what life is, right? It's an evolving journey. You gotta roll with the tide, go with the wind, but stay on the path of altering our future and designing the life that we want, right? It's been a real fun doing this show. I'm really getting into it and enjoying it and looking forward to it. Although today's Monday, and after the weekend, you kind of feel, getting back into the groove. The weekend kind of interrupts the groove. But one day we'll be 7 days a week, and hopefully that won't happen. Although I'm thinking to do it 7 days a week, it's kind of a commitment. You got to be in studio every single day. Can't travel and do things like that. But we'll see. We'll work things out. I just want to talk. So we're coming to the end of the month of November, and I just wanted to kind of give an overview of. I don't know if we could do an overview, but a kind of summary of what we've been talking about so far for the past 2 months, which is October and November. And of course, what we've been talking about is the Wattpad Life, which is the name of the show. And does the name appear here? Oh, I think we took the name off. Oh, it's there, yeah. Wattpad Life, daily live streaming talk show. I'm looking at the computers. Displayed the computer screen. So I think from my limited perspective, of course, I think we've done a good job in terms of not explaining, that's the wrong word, of kind of rolling out and mapping out the outline of the Wattpad Life and what it's all about. So those of you who have been watching us for quite some time would have had an idea by now what the Wattpad Life is all about, although it might not be fully, crystal clear. It's an idea is there, and which is good, and we can build on that, right? So today I want to just go do a brief overview of where we've been so far in the show, what we've been talking about over 2 months. So I'm going to try kind of just rush through that, and then we're going to talk quickly about future and what we're planning to do starting December 1st, so starting Wednesday. Because the reason we are doing the show, of course, is not only to share our ideas and to inspire an audience to come around us and to build a movement and to start a kind of a revolution, but I want to qualify that word revolution in terms of a positive thing, right? Not revolution in terms of a negative thing, but revolution in lifestyle, in the lifestyle of some people. And the people we are interested in, and we hope you're interested in us, are the people who are originators and leaders, I guess, is the bracket is too wide. So originators, inventors, and creators. When I say creators also, I mean a very limited, not people who create any and everything, but people who are creators in themselves, thinkers, right? Originators is the real word we use. Originators and inventors. and geniuses. I mean, we don't want to say we're not saying that at all, that we're geniuses. We're saying that if you believe, especially for the younger people, this is our audience, this is who we're talking to, this is our people, our crowd, right? If you're not in this crowd and you're watching the show and you find the show interesting and it resonates with you, then you're one of those. You're an originator or an inventor or a genius. In some way, and you might not be an Einstein genius. Heaven help us, I'm not. But in some little way, in some little part of life, you're an expert, you're a master, you're a genius, right? You're an originator, you're an inventor of, even if it's an idea, even if it's some education product, whatever it is, right? If you have something special to give to the world, and we had packaged this all in a show earlier as your message, as you being a message to the world, if you have that kind of inclination and that kind of aspiration, then you're in our crowd. And so what we've been talking about over the past 2 months, so we're looking at we have about maybe 40 shows so far. Well, no, we don't do weekends, so maybe 30 shows on YouTube and Facebook, and of course our website. And so we have all these videos, all this content, each an hour long, right? An hour, close to an hour long for each video. And it's quite exciting doing it because what we are doing is bringing a new I don't want to use the word platform. A new digital world is the new language we should be using. A new digital world to our audience. And again, our audience are originators and masters and experts and stuff who, if you're in your field and you feel that you have some kind of original thinking about your field, I'm not talking about the whole of life. I'm talking about your area of expertise, your area of concern, your area of passion, of purpose, of vision, right? Whatever you see in life, that's your vision. And we want I don't mean see like physically, I mean see metaphysically. So the vision of your passion, the passion in your heart, that's your unique offering to the world. And we want to help you develop that into digital products. And the digital products, of course, are packaged, we invented. We are, kind of pushing ourselves and being maybe arrogant might be the word. I don't know. I don't want to use the word arrogant, but some people would say we're arrogant to believe that we could change the future of the book, the device that is the book, the form of the book. We are setting out to. We have already done it. We just need the resources to roll it out in a way that it will become a global phenomenon, right? We don't just want to put it out there and it's a small thing. A lot of startups do that. They went to market too early. When I say to market, they released it too early and they didn't build up a passion for it, right? An audience for it. We want to build up that audience for it. Hence, this live streaming show, the Wattpad Live. Now, the Wattpad Live, of course, Wattpad is the brand that we're developing for our company, right? And Wattpad is the company, the Wattpad Life Corporation, that owns this new format of the book that we've developed and designed, and we're releasing. We're gonna deploy it at the appropriate time, is what I should say. Once we would have had structure to make sure that it becomes viral and trending, right? That's the whole idea. That's only then you release your new startup product, maybe is what I should say. But the purpose for this live streaming talk show, the Wattpad Live, is for us to build a rapport. It's our public face to the world out there to say, hey, we exist. We have something different. We have something original. We have something that we've mastered and we've become expert at, and we're ready to deploy it. But we have to gradually build up the love and passion for this kind of thing, for this digital asset that we're giving to you, right? Because all the startups that launched, Facebook included, Twitter, Google, and all of them, even Yahoo back in the day, and Amazon back in the day because Amazon is an older company if you think of it compared to the others, and Google as well. Google was started in 1998, I think. Every other company came after, right, in the 2000s. But when those companies started, first they had to build up, before they launched, right, they had to build up that, what in their beta release, what they call the beta release, they built up an audience of their tribe. And we talked in one show before about the tribe. So once we would have built up our tribe, then we release the series book. I say all that to say this. From December 1st, so we have tomorrow, we're going to do one more show to wrap up this phase of the Wattpad Live show. And then from December, we go into a different phase. And the different phase that we're in December, from December 1st, would be, so we have different sections of the company, right? The Wattpad Live Corporation is a company. We have 3 companies under it, but we have 14 different digital products, 14 different digital properties, including our magazine, Billionaire Mindset magazine, and we have courses, we have a headline site to daily publish the major headlines around the world. We have an online newspaper to do inspiring stories, on community level. And we have different things, right? The e-commerce site and all of that. Now the e-commerce site, we're focusing on, we're gonna have merchandise, right? We're gonna definitely have merchandise, especially for books coming out. Like I have 10 books coming out in our technology. I know a lot of people close to me are waiting for those books to be released, but I don't want to release them in old technology, like print and all that, and people don't read them, right? They browse the few pages, they're curious, and they throw it aside. No, we want books to be exciting and smart. When I release my book, you read it, right? Because we're going to design it and make it in such a nice way. For example, adding music to the background and linking it with a lot of interactive, responsive features and those kinds of things. So make it alive and organic, like how the internet is, instead of a book being a flat, one-dimensional, gray text on off-white background kind of boring thing. We want to make it exciting. Books are smart, and we want to make it smart and simple as well. So that's what we're working on. So from December 1st, what we are going to be doing is our e-commerce platform, which currently it has about 150 ebooks on it, but we don't really promote it as yet, right? What we're going to do is from December 1st, well, moving into January 2022, we have big goals in January 2022. Who I'm speaking to right now, for one, I'm making the video, so it's always there and people can look back on it and see what we're all about. But also, those of you who are interested in our company and the future of our company, this is what we're planning very early in 2022. This live streaming platform, this enterprise, we want to scale it out to 24/7, so 24 hours, 7 days a week. So it's going to have different shows. It's going to have 24 shows per day, each one an hour long. But also, it could be, we could move it up to 3 days a week, and then 5 days a week, and then 7 days a week. But we're heading within the first quarter of 2022 to moving it from just 1 hour a day to 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So that's our big goal. And we hope you cheer us on, applaud us on, give us some bravado, so we move forward with courage and strength, and we gather in resources that are necessary to make this happen. It's not cheap, as you know. It's not going to be easy. We have to have a whole bunch more equipment, and the studio has to have different sets instead of just one set, all those things. And of course, we need to hire more staff, right? So that's our plan. That's number one, the live streaming platform, which will be global, of course, on all the as many platforms as we can do, including social media, but also our website. And also, so that's number one. The second thing we're doing, our e-commerce platform, which is all ebooks. So from December, I want to experiment with this and see if we can put out one ebook per week to start with. And then from January, we do one ebook per day. So this is not short reading matter. This is heavy reading stuff, right? It's ebooks, so it's like, say between 50 to 100 pages, and we do it every day from the first quarter of 2022, hopefully from January, but definitely in the first quarter. So we'll have 24 hours of live streaming plus one ebook coming out, plus so from December, I want to do one a week and put the system in place, right? The writing system, because it's a lot of writing, and editing, of course, and then the designing of the ebooks, right? And of course with interactive and responsive features. So it's a lot of work. So we're gonna have the live streaming operation, we'll have the ebook operation, which is exciting stuff, because our ebooks are going to be not just anything we're going to put into ebooks. Our ebooks are going to be stories, creative stories. You know what we believe, right? If you've been watching me talk here on the show before, you would know that we believe that life is a fictional narrative, and we make it what we want it to be. We write the story that we want to live, right? And if we're writing the story that we want to live, and we create our reality, then the same thing applies to the books that we write. We want to, in other words, our philosophy of life, we want to make sure that we align ourselves to it with integrity, right? And so these ebooks would be fictional. They would be fictional stories, definitely fictional stories, more like novellas or novels even. But ebooks, it won't be as big as a novel, like 300 pages. It might be more like a novella, like 3 of them would make a novel, right? And so we want to fictionalize things, but we're going to fictionalize things that are of value to our audience, right? So if you're a master, you're an expert, you're a genius in your field, you are an originator and an inventor, you have original ideas is what I mean, then we would take you and have you, your brand, don't want to use the word marketing, your brand will be your ebook, which would have all these other features on. In other words, it's a semi-Sims book, but you're going to know eventually what a Sims book is as we roll them up next year. But for now, we're going to go with interactive ebooks, and very multimedia as well, right? And so from December, which is this week actually, from Wednesday, so between Wednesday and following Wednesday, the next week Wednesday, we're going to have our first ebook out. But we already have the platform, the e-commerce platform, which is the ebook platform. That already has 150 books on it, but very boring books, right? They're regular ebooks, just text on screen. But we're gonna upgrade that, the kind of ebooks that we publish. Now I know people would say, oh, what are popular, your live streaming is the way to go, or videos on YouTube, or short snappy things like Instagram posts and story on Facebook, and I've been doing a lot of that lately, just to experiment and see how it works and what kind of feedback we're getting. But to give people long text document, to give people things that are heavy to read is not the word I'm looking for. Things that are more involved, that takes more of your time, that it would involve more of your brain power and your focus, right? To give people those kinds of things, marketers would tell us, don't do that, because the world doesn't want to read anymore. Nobody wants to read long, boring things. And trust me, our ebooks wouldn't be long, boring stuff. It's very organic, it's very different, it's very innovative. If we're preaching originality and innovativeness and inventiveness, we gotta reflect that in what we do, right? We try to do that with this show. We try to be innovative, different from other shows out there, which I think we are. And also with the ebooks will be the same way. And the ebooks will be available on the e-commerce site. So you can go there and we don't want to sell the ebooks. You can have it for free under one condition, that you sign up for a membership. If you sign up for a membership with our company, then all ebooks that we publish would automatically come to you in your email, and you would be able to download those books and read them. And when I say read them, books are no longer published, they're produced. And you no longer read a book, you engage with the book, right? So we want to, this is our defining characteristic as a company, as an enterprise, as a vision, and expressing our passion to the world, self-expressing ourselves and our vision, is that we want to give the world something that you don't have out there. Now, of course, there are ebooks on Amazon. You find tons and tons of ebooks, and Barnes and Noble, and Chapters here in Canada, and of course you still have Kindle, and you still have Kobo in Canada, which is the Canadian version of Kindle. You still have those things, but they're very niche, right? If you're a reader, that's the only way you would encounter an ebook. Like Goodreads, for example, the website. Not a lot of people know about it. In Toronto, there's Wattpad, which is a book company. Nobody I mentioned Wattpad to knows of it. Yet it's a very successful publishing startup. And their writers get deals with Netflix and stuff for movies. But it's not popular. It's not like, it's a very niche thing, you know what I mean? It's a nerdy world. We want to change that. We want to make, if movies can be so popular, music, right? And comedy. the most shallow thing you could come across. Yes, it makes you laugh and it makes you feel entertained and feel light and feel good. But comedy is like, the most shallow thing you could come up with. And maybe Seinfeld might disagree with me, but we want to change. We believe we're moving. Somebody said today on TikTok, put a post up, that the internet is now moving into a new era. First we had the information economy, which is the Web 1.0, she named it Web 1.0, and then Web 2.0, which was the platform economy, when you had Facebook and Twitter and all the social media companies, and they built platforms and we became database on their platform, right? And then Web 3.0 is now coming. This is our theory, right? Web 3.0 is now coming into effect, where the creators and stuff would be the big players, and people who generate their own content, like writers and artists and photographers and painters and musicians and performers, right? And I believe that there is merit in that. There definitely is merit in that. We are moving into Web 3.0 with the metaverse and blockchain and NFT especially. NFT is huge. It's going to be the dominant thing in the world within 3, 4, or 5 years, the max, right? It's really already taking off. NFT is the new money. It's the new way of doing transactions. It's the new way of ownership. And you're going to own your house, your car, everything, your intellectual property, your book, your movie, whatever it is, through NFT. NFT is going to be is the future. If you don't know about it, look into it, right? Research it some. I mean, our company is going to be. That's how we're going to be doing things, right? Through blockchain and all that. Of course, we have to develop the technology and raise the resources to bring in the right skill set, because we have somebody on board who knows about programming and stuff, but we need to boost up these departments. Anyway, so the future is we're looking into this thing, right? To expand this live streaming show into a full mass media operation, to expand our e-commerce side from the existing boring 150 ebooks that are on it right now into multimedia ebooks and produce regularly, right? Like at least one a week, and in the first quarter of 2022, one a day. And then the third thing we have, of course, is our magazine, the Millionaire Mindset magazine. Because remember, one of the things we talk about a lot is abundance mindset. The Millionaire Mindset magazine is about that. It's about developing. It has the 4 sections, so the 4 W's, which we talked about on Friday: wealth, wisdom, worthiness, and wellness. Right? Those 4 sections. And so the magazine is geared for the individual to live. So we publish stories and articles and inspirational, motivational content, videos and stuff for our people, our movement, our audience, our team, people, our tribe, to be able to live the abundant lifestyle, right? Including building wealth. Listen, we have big goals. If you come on board with us, we're promising you one thing. We will do everything in our power, and of course you will have to do the work as well, right? If you do the work and you follow along with our program, we're promising you that you will develop multiple streams of revenue, and with royalties and memberships and subscriptions and that model, that cooperative money model, we're projecting for every person who comes on board with us, just speaking purely financially, and we're not about finances, that you would earn at least $100,000 a year, and eventually, if you follow the program and you keep doing the work, you would become a millionaire. Not because we think money is important. We don't. What we believe is the abundant lifestyle is necessary, but you live it with vision. You don't live it with a greedy mindset to say, I'm going to grab and build and live a lavish. Well, we believe in, you can live a lavish lifestyle, I don't mind, really, but simple is better. But we don't want people to indulge in the kind of lifestyle that is debased and that is debauchery and just going out there wild. No. We want you to develop a real abundance mindset, the wealth living, the real spirit of it is a giving thing. It's a giving thing. You give back to the world, you contribute, right? Like what all the rich people are doing, from Bezos to Bill Gates to Warren Buffett, all the big guys, including Elon Musk and all of them, they're giving away a lot of your wealth. And even the past presidents of the United States, they build big libraries and open foundation like the Clinton Foundation. the Barack Obama Foundation, the Jimmy Carter Foundation, George Bush, all of them, they went out there after using their power and influence to give back to the world, right? To contribute back to humanity. And a lot of people say, oh, Bill Gates wants to reduce population and control the world and blah, blah, blah. They have a mindset of abundance, of giving back, of contributing back. What they know, you can't blame these people for not knowing deeper stuff if you know deeper stuff, right? They're doing what they think is best. And yes, human nature has a lot of darkness in it and a lot of evil, me included, you included. If you put us in the wrong situation, in an evil atmosphere, we would become evil ourselves. That's human nature. We are pliable and moldable, right? We are not people who, we got to be in the right circumstance, the right social environment to become good people. That's why you got to train children, right? You don't leave them to go without training, then they go wild. It's human nature. My point is, if you have an abundance mindset, like we see with everybody who is living in abundance in the world, they give back. They give back. Of course, you have the people who don't, the people who are in wild parties and doing nonsense, and those we don't deal with them. We don't want anything to do with people like that, right? So we have all these assets, the e-commerce site with ebooks, and we're going to ramp that up really aggressively in early 2022. But from next week, from this week to next week, which is the first week of December, we'll have one ebook per week out. And remember, it's going to be a fiction. Whatever topic we deal with, it's going to be serious life issues. So these ebooks would be instruction for living, but in the forms of stories, right? So we have a genre that we use, which is a combination of short story, personal essay, and literary journalism. We combine those three genres into one and make these ebooks into something exciting and really interesting, right? And it's quite a task to come up with a story. But we come up with a story, for example, we could look at the life of one of these guys, let's say Elon Musk, and fictionalize his life, right? And show you how to live and pull all the life lessons that we can find out of it and publish an ebook that is exciting and fun, that has multimedia attached to it. And you know, it's an instructional thing. It's like life lessons. How should I say? It's like tutoring people about life, right? That's what we're doing, using the device or the platform or the tool or the resource of the book or the ebook, the electronic book, which is what we call a SIMS book, Simple Multimedia Smartphone. So we're planning to roll out these three things in early 2022 in January, but develop them over the first quarter so that for the rest of the year they're fully functional and running, right, under our company. The live streaming mass media platform, the ebook attached to the e-commerce site for membership, for members to be able to read any book that we put out, and we might have parts of it available to the public if you're not signed up with us, but to read the whole thing and you know, hopefully the writing is good enough, people would want to read the whole thing, then you would have to be a member. And the third thing we're doing is our Billionaire Mindset magazine to empower our audience, our tribe, to live the abundant mindset, including getting the training that is necessary to become an author of the future and to design their life, right? And of course, we have a training program. So the fourth thing we're doing is the training program, which is a year-long training program. And you can even go on our site right now and see the sign-up form is there for it. It's called, under Start Now or something, you see on our Wattpad.com. You can see what it costs and all that. But it's an expensive program, yes, I agree, and not for everybody, right? It's for those who want to invest, who have the seed to invest, so that they can flower out and bear fruit. Well, after a year, right? It's a year-round training. It's 12 modules, and it's a beautiful program. So those four things we're rolling out in December, coming into January, and the reason I'm talking about them today is to let you know that we are. Hold on. Let me see if I get. Okay, good. Thanks, Mano. The sound and everything is okay, which is fine. Excuse me. Yeah, so we have good plans. Not only plans, but they're work in progress. We have these things in work in progress. Now let me do, before we wrap up tonight, let me do the segment of this show, today's show, on what we have said before for the past nearly 2 months, right? So quite a few videos, maybe it could be 40 or 50 videos or something, each an hour long. And what we talked about over that period of time, we define what is the qualped life, because we know the qualped life means nothing to you, right? It has no meaning to it. There's no emotions attached to it. There's no connotation to it. It's not a metaphor of anything. It's the qualped. Qualped is the word, and life is life, right? So what is qualped? We've defined that over the past 30 or something videos, 30 to 40 videos. They're on YouTube. They're on our Facebook page, Future Stars Media Enterprise, and of course I share them to our other pages, the Life Design, Qualped Life Design page, Qualped page, my own page on Facebook. They're on Twitter, they're on a number of platforms, including, but I haven't seen them, right, on Tumblr and Pinterest and Twitter's video thing, I think it's called Periscope or something. So they're all out there, but you can access them, right, especially on YouTube, which is where people watch videos anyway, and see how we define the qualped life, what the qualped life is all about. And that's what we've been doing for the past, I guess, over maybe 50 days. Yeah, it's close to 50 days now we've been doing those videos, except weekends, except Saturday and Sunday. For the past 50 days we've been running the show, so minus say 12, so yeah, 30 something videos, 12 days for the weekends, right, and 60 days anyway. I'm just saying that we have a lot of videos that define the qualped life, and we talked about, for example, aligning ourselves to the path that we choose, that we making sure that we go up our mountain to the summit of our lives, rather than living a default future where we just drift and, you know, with no real direction, or we're declining and falling off the map. Instead of doing that, we design the future that we want. We don't decline and we don't default, we just design. That's one key thing that we talked about in the past, being aligned to that road of designing our future and authoring our future. When I say authoring, what I mean is you literally write, like our training program, to live the qualped life. And the qualped life, remember, is the life of abundance, right? It's designing a life of abundance, of peace, of contribution to society, of living literally as a master, as an expert, as an originator. As you know, you got to be an originator to run with us, right? We're running this race, and that's the horse we want. And so if you believe you're a master in your field, or you feel a passion in your heart, or you feel something resonates with you, that you feel, I can sink my teeth into this and develop it into some amazing digital product, digital asset, what it is, to give back to the world and contribute to the world. If I have a message burning in my heart that I need to express, you're with us. Your spirit aligns with our spirit. And that's the kind of thing we talked about in our shows before. We talked about being aligned to this path, and along the path there are signposts, different signposts, right, of how to live what we call the qualped life. And the reason we name it the qualped life is very simple. The word qualped, Q-U-A-L-P-E-D, qualped, simply means quality of life, personal designer. So what we as a company set out to do is to give you tools to improve the quality of your life, and you personally design that with our guidance, coaching, and mentorship, right? So you design the quality of life that you desire, that you love, and you run with it. And we are there with you, coaching you, mentoring you, putting you on the road, giving you that push start that you need to go up the mountain to the summit of your life. These things we dealt with in our shows before. And so I would encourage you to look to our future, where we are going, not only with the mass media platform that we're developing as a live streaming enterprise, but also the kicking against the grain, right? Because everybody's saying to us, why would you get into books and long text, long form text, in a world where attention span is so short, where people watch, I don't know about Snapchat, but even TikTok, right? TikTok limits your videos to 15 seconds or 3 minutes or whatever it is, I don't know. I actually should get involved in TikTok, but I'm not. I have an account, but I don't really do anything with it. My point is, everything on the internet is short attention span, right? Like Snapchat and everything. Even Instagram developed this idea of short attention span, and all videos were said to be had to be short and all that. Except you can do big videos on YouTube, but people watch the short ones, right? So everybody was saying that to us. We're kicking against that grain, and we don't believe you follow the crowd. This is something else we dealt with before. The individual is empowered, but you're empowered to blaze your own path. You don't need to conform to the world or follow the crowd. Now, a lot of people would say in marketing, oh, find your niche, find out what people want and make that to give them. Yes, if you live the old way. If you live the way, I'm going to do a transaction, I'm going to develop a product for you, find out what you want, market to you, which is deceive you and give you an illusion of this product being sexy and being boo, this and that, right? When it isn't. Like people sell clothing and say, oh, this would make you look and feel more sexy. Yeah, I don't know. That kind of marketing we're not into anymore. We live in a different world. Authenticity, being real, saying to people, being very, very transparent with people. That's the new world we live in. And we're saying that the way forward, the way for the future is if we believe that something would contribute to your life, even if you don't know it will contribute to your life, even if you don't see that yet, we would make the sacrifices to develop that tool, that technology, that teaching or whatever it is, so that you can benefit. Even we're not coming to say what is on your consciousness, let's satisfy that and you give us some money for that. That's small thinking. We are saying to you what is in your subconscious, your superconsciousness, that you don't even know is there. And let's satisfy that, your aspirational self, right? Which we believe is there in human nature. There is this side to us, right? Which aspires to nobleness and to this divine life. It wants us to rise, right? To fly to the heavens, which is, again, we did a show on this before, which is why the Wright brothers invented airplanes, right? Because in this human spirit, we have this desire, this aspiration to be more than we are, to fly, to achieve great things, to rise to a height, to go to the summit of our mountains. But of course, life beats up on us. This world system is very oppressive. And so we give up. As kids, we dreamt, we lived with wonder, we were curious, we wanted to find out everything. And then the adults said to us, don't you dare, it's dangerous, secure yourself, blah, 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 right? And mind you, there is a place for that. I'm not saying there isn't, but when you go to the other extreme, it's not a good thing. And so adults killed our dreams, they cut our wings, right? And they told us you can't fly, you can't dream, you can't be a divine being. Be practical. Go out there and get an education and work and pay your bills. Mind you, that is necessary. But there's a side to us, the dreams, and we want to satisfy that side to the human nature, which aspires and dreams. And even if you give up on that side of you, we're going to encourage you. We're going to keep talking to you. That's why we do this live. So we can, the few people who watch us, and eventually a lot of people will watch us because this platform will grow. We know what we do here. It's a good thing, and if it's a good thing and it appeals to a part of human nature, then everybody who watches us will want to watch us more and listen to what we're saying because it will resonate with their own heart, with their own spirit and their own passion, right? Human nature at work. And so we are not coming out there to ask you what you want and give it to you. No. If we believe that you're going to benefit from e-books, long text format of media, that's what we're going to do. Right? We won't tone it down, we won't cut it down to short little pieces. We will do that to promote the big book, yes. Right? To maybe attract you to read something big, that is in depth. But we won't make our company into something else when we believe this is our message to the world and this is our calling, right? So today I just wanted to come on live on the show and kind of lay out what we planned, the big plans that we have for 2022. Now I know COVID is coming and a lot of people are freaking out that society will shut down again and we would have to kind of go home and stay home and don't do anything. The way we are setting up our company, even with COVID, even if there's a lockdown, we would still be able to do what we're doing. And this is what we learned, this is what we benefited over the past 2 years. We had to shift gear and change our modus operandi, our methodology, and say, you know what, the world is moving digital. Let's develop all our products, including the magazine, which was printed before, and our books, which we were planning a big printing to be a big part of it. But of course, it was digital books. But anyway, all our assets we're moving digital, and we're developing them. And now, of course, with Zuckerberg coming out this year talking about the metaverse and NFT and blockchain and cryptocurrency becoming such a big thing, of course, with that happening, then we know we're on the right track, right? So we're in the groove of the future, and we want you to come along with us. Now, here's something that I've recognized, right? A lot of people today are confused. A tremendous amount, most human beings on the face of the earth are confused. And country after country after country, they are being locked down for, or even restricted, not totally locked down, but restricted because of this new Omicron or Omicron, I don't know how they pronounce it, COVID variant, right? And people are protesting on the streets. Thousands and thousands of people in countries all over the world, from Middle East to Europe, not North America as yet, are protesting. Some places even in Africa, they're protesting because they don't understand what's going on. People don't grasp that we're in a time of chaos, yes, but we're in a time of chaos of necessity, because the old world is being not demolished, but being disrupted, I guess is the word. The old world is being disrupted, including the oil industry. You know, people are even now pulling back investments from oil industry like Exxon and Shell and all those big companies. They're taking out their investments from those companies, their shares and stocks, and putting it into more companies that are more environmentally sustainable, that are involved in environmentally sustainable businesses. And so we're seeing a world below the surface. Below the surface, there is a lot of stuff happening. There's a lot of changes going on. We talked a couple shows before, and look back on those shows if you would like to know more about the Great Reset, the Sustainable Development Goals, or SDGs. 19 of those goals must be implemented by the United Nations. Latest 2025. They might push it, some of it, the harder ones, to 2030, but by 2025, the foundation for all those goals, 19 new goals, including guaranteed basic income and universal health care for every single human being on the planet, and universal secondary education for every human being on the planet. This is not country, this is the world. Must be implemented by 2025. So the SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals, the Great Reset. The Great Reset is a massive overhaul of the entire global structure and global system. They're literally pulling the economy apart and restructuring everything. And we see that happening in America with Biden's $3 trillion, nearly $4 trillion to remake bridges and roads and pull out all the old pipes and replace them. Put in internet infrastructure all over the country so that Wi-Fi is everywhere and cheap and easy. That the internet is entrenched in daily living. These things are happening. And then, so we have the Great Reset, the Sustainable Development Goals, 19 of those, which adds to the Millennial Development Goals, 8 goals that came in between the year 2000 to 2015. Those 8 goals, even those, a lot of them are in, but not all of them. I mean, installed and implemented and operating. And then, of course, the third thing that we have is the Clean Climate Mandate. And the Clean Climate Mandate is of course the most big one, right? The biggest one, the most involved change that is happening. Now, to implement these 3 things, Clean Climate Mandate, which is overhauling the industrialization of society, the SDGs, which is overhauling the social structure of the whole global village, the entire world, and the Great Reset, which is overhauling all the infrastructure and from physical into a digital society. All that is going on, and guess what? We hardly know what's going on because there's no media anymore to tell us what's going on. The big mass media like CNN and New York Times and RT from Russia and Al Jazeera from the Middle East and BBC and all these places, they have the reporters don't do anymore the work of edifying the public. They don't care about those things. They report stories of the Macy Parade, Santa Claus Parade in New York in the middle of COVID. It's fine that they had a parade and all that is good, but this kind of shallowness is going on in the mass media. In other words, the mass media is no longer doing its work in a democracy of being a pillar to inform the people. They're not doing that anymore. They don't need, a lot of the reporters don't even understand what's going on because they don't delve into things, right? So they became career journalists and they do it for their paycheck, right? Not love for their profession. When I was in newspaper, you did it, whatever the pay is, you did it because you love the profession. You ran after a story because your teeth, you have a nose for news, and you sink your teeth into stories that would improve the public and inform voters and edify people, right? Not anymore. So I say all that to say that we live in a world that people are not getting the depth of what is going on. So a lot of people are confused. A lot of people don't know what the future is like, and therefore what we are doing here, a lot of what we are doing is all about the future. That's our philosophy. The future is important, not the past, not the present. The present is important in terms of deciding what direction your life is going to be. Once you make that decision now, everything is about the future. It's about who owns tomorrow, who brings it into play. Are we going to influence our tomorrow, or are we going to just be followers, right? So the future is what we look at, and so we study the future, and there's a name for that, which is futurism and futurist, right? So we read like Ray Kurzweil's book Singularity. We're familiar with it because every day I get emails about from Peter Diamandis and Ray Kurzweil and Singularity and all those things, and all the futuristic stuff that is going on, a number of other futurists as well. And I would spend my mornings, that's what I do in my mornings, I would read a lot, and because I can't come and speak to you if I don't have substance, right? I gotta build up that substance. And a lot of people don't do that. A lot of people don't do that. Even if what is so disappointing is that the media doesn't do it. You wouldn't find this kind of information on BBC unless you delve deep into it, like the documentaries, right? So there is a need for the work that we're doing. We want to make a difference, and the difference that we're making is that the future, we want to bring it to you. We want to open the eyes of people and bring that awakeness, bring that awareness, bring the people to bring the consciousness of people to the fact that the future is unfolding very, very fast, and the future is rushing towards us. Who talks to us, the public, about the SDGs? Who talks to us about the Great Reset, which is an initiative that Prince Charles actually named? Who talks to us about clean climate mandate? When COP26 came around and 200 world leaders went to it earlier this month, from the 1st to the 12th of November 2021, everybody in the flocked to report COP26, COP26, COP26. But nobody explained what it was. You ask the average man on the street, what is COP26? First, most people might go, COP what? I never heard of that. Even if they did hear about it, ask them what's the meaning of COP, C-O-P, which is Council of Partners, and they wouldn't know. And so the clean climate mandate literally falls on deaf ears all across the face of the earth, right? And so nobody's doing that kind of work to bring people's awareness to the future, to what is going on, and how can we prepare society if we don't do that? That's the work we're setting out to. This work that we're setting out to do, that we have already started, this live streaming being the face of it. But our ebooks are going to delve into these topics. Our ebooks are going to go into the SDGs in a story format, in a very, not an essay format which is academic and hard to read and boring. No, in a story format that really brings, it kind of attracts people to what we're saying, not to what we're saying, to the issues of the day. People become engaged. You got to be engaged with what is going on in your world, your environment. And remember, we don't expect the whole world to be absorbing what we do. We expect the people who we speak to, the originators, the thinkers, the masters and experts, the people who want to develop their lives, the people who are ambitious, especially young people. We want a lot of young people because we want to impact the leaders of the next generation. that the next generation should live better than our generation lived. That they should stand on our shoulders, and we got to care from now, right? So I know I'm kind of ranting, but today's show was really to let you know that in 2022, what we started out in 2021 with this live streaming show, with our e-commerce site, which now has 150 ebooks on it, and with our course and our magazine and all that, that the Wattpad life in 2022, we're going to make it the Wattpad year from our perspective. And we're looking for our tribe. We don't want a lot of people on board next year. If we get between 100 and 1,000, we'd be very happy, because those people will be our platform to go global. That's our goal. And what I wanted to really get across today is, like record on the video at least, is that the videos that we've done so far over the past, say, 50 days or something, every single day, have outlined what the Wattpad life is all about, right? And so, although we will refer to the aspects or the heart of what the Wattpad life is in future shows, we won't go back to those things and regurgitate them. The videos are there, people can watch them. So I'm saying to you now, as November comes to an end, and tomorrow being the last day, that, I mean, if you're listening to me now, or if you encounter this video sometime in the future when you encounter it online, or on our website or whatever, you can know from now, from listening to me now, that you can go back to those videos that we've done before and get a comprehensive idea where we're coming from, what we're talking about, and what is the Wattpad life, right? So we have the Wattpad life talk show, mass media platform, enterprise, which is this, but expanded from early next year. We have the Wattpad life e-commerce site with multimedia ebooks, and we have the Wattpad life in terms of the Billionaire Mindset magazine and the course that we're doing. And those things we're rolling out, we're developing right now, we're working on it, and kind of declaring it now to the public, because that's what we do, right? We spent a whole show, quite a couple of shows actually, at least 2 shows, maybe more, talking about declaration, that you declare things. Not everything, you don't declare your details of your how of doing things. You declare your intention, because your intention, you have to align yourself to it and live it. That's integrity. You declare your intention to the public and say to people, you make a promise to people, right? And say, this is what I promise you. And once you promise somebody something, then you align yourself to making sure that that promise happens. This is integrity. And so the reason we're saying this, we're spending an entire hour talking about our road to the future, our authoring of our future as the Wattpad life, and also what we've outlined up to now in this show, from since we started to now. What we are setting out to do here is to make a declaration to the people who are aligned with us, who would come on board with us, to say we are declaring this, and therefore we have an obligation to align ourselves to this declaration. And if we have integrity, which I hope we have, we would stick to that road and keep our promise to that we promise these things, and therefore we'll make them happen. Get it? And they say that's what the Wattpad life is. You make a declaration of where you're going into the future. Say, this is where we're going. I promise you this is where we're going. And then follow up on that to keep your word, which is integrity, right? So you declare integrity and commitment, right? And in us doing this, we're practicing the Wattpad life. We're practicing what we're preaching. We're walking the walk and not just talking the talk, right? So this video is the declaration of what we're planning for 2022. In December, you're going to see some of it. If I come on the show and say, hey, this week we're coming out with this ebook, and this is the story, give an outline of the story and stuff, go on our e-commerce site, sign up for a membership. You don't have to buy the book. You sign up for a membership, and you would automatically get our ebooks delivered to your email whenever they come out, which is once a week in December and once a day in 2022. Now, we don't expect you to read an ebook every single day. If you could, it would be fantastic, amazing. I mean, think of if you read 300 books a year, what would happen? Our slogan for the show is intelligence for the digital age. And you read a short story every day. trust me, after 300 days, intelligence for the digital age would be a cliche for you. Would be a cliche. And so, when we come next month, well, from Wednesday, I'll start talking to you about going on our e-commerce site and signing up for membership, because you're going to get access to our multimedia stories in ebooks, well, Sims books. Don't be surprised, because we're declaring it here now. That's our intention. Our intention is to expand this live streaming enterprise, to boost our e-commerce ebook site with multimedia ebooks, and to ramp up the digital edition of the Billionaire Mindset magazine with the 4 W's: wealth, wisdom, worthiness, and wellness, to contribute to the development of an abundant lifestyle for our people. All right? So thank you for listening to me drone on and on. But I really had to declare this today and put it out in the space, put it out into the atmosphere, and make sure that we align with the words that we speak into the world, into your ears, into our promise to the public, right? So, look at don't only listen to what we're saying, look at our methodology too, how we're rolling out the quality life. Because our methodology is us living that quality life that we talk about. So if we say to you, this is how you can live the quality life, and your lifestyle can align with these values, we are also doing exactly the same thing. We're not doing anything different. If we say to you, this is the formula, we're following that formula, right? So everything I said on this show, like declaring, and you declare because you have an intent, because you declare because you know you're going to follow up with that declaration, because you know you're going to exercise integrity, and you're going to be committed to that task with self-leadership, with self-control and self-expression and self-development and self-care. You're going to take care of things to make sure that what you declare about your future is something that you're going to make happen. Not try. Life is not about trying. You don't breathe to try to live. You breathe to live. So when you make a declaration about your future, and authoring and designing that future that you want, it's not about trying to see if it will work. It's about making it happen. That's why you got to do the research before you make your declaration, making sure that you align your heart and your passion and align with that vision, with the information that you gather. It's a work in progress. It evolves. Nothing is cast in stone. So it's pliable, it's moldable, it's organic, right? You play with it. But you must make that declaration based on research, because you know this is what you're going to commit to, without regret, without turning back, without thinking, oh, what did I do? You already did the research. You know this is exactly what I want. This is what I'm going to declare. This is what I'm going to commit to. And my integrity is online here if I don't live up to my word. Right? See? There we go. So thank you for listening to me. Have a good evening, and I'll see you guys again tomorrow. Okay, take care.